plant over there. Perfect. Okay. Hey everyone, welcome to Not Fake Breaking News. Today in politics, President Joe Biden, let's go Vernon, is throwing money at more problems. While this solution has never actually worked for anything, why wouldn't you just stir the soil and mix in a little manure for like the 100th time? Run a fruitless tree. Why wouldn't you? Why? Well, in that vein and nature, supply chain issues are resolved by getting people back to work. As you know, supply chains are down low. They're doing nothing right now at all. And so, by paying people not to work and to stay at home, throwing cash at companies, and countries that can't get people to work, well, you're gonna have a lot of progress, I guess, if you're a Democrat. Let's go, Brandon. And as they always say in politics, money is like rocks. It'll just sit there unless you throw it at something, like a window, and break it all. Also in politics, the UN continues to be a useless agency as they talk about how the world is going to end. Yep. And, again, projecting false prophetic dates about how everything's gonna turn into a gigantic big ol' mess. Ignoring the fact that the most stable countries are the cleanest, ignoring primarily China, and countries that contribute very little have again vowed to make the most drastic changes by virtue signaling. Virtue signaling has always worked. It's never backfired. It's never said, hey, we're more important than we think that we're doing this, or anything dumb like that. The attendees, specifically the loudest and most obnoxious, flew in all by their private jets to talk about how they're going to tackle everyone else's problems. I don't know if you figured that out yet, but my problems, your problems, doesn't matter. Nope, doesn't matter at all. But the world is going to end unless you do something about it personally. This and other climate change events are about as real and alive as I actually am. Lastly, in politics, the UN, which is primarily known as a useless group of nobodies, so maybe they should be called the UGN? UGN? I don't know. Anyway, they're a bunch of useless nobodies. Useless nobodies, just UN. I guess that works. A money-burning corporation of nations has said Elon Musk could basically solve all of the world's hunger issues by himself.
You serious?
Despite the fact that they raised about $8 billion last year, they could have done it on their own before, chose not to, but it's now on Elon Musk. That guy. He can do it all by himself. He doesn't need any help at all. In fact, he could just give his money to the UN and they could solve all of the problems of the entire world. Elon Musk, being Elon Musk, agreed to this idea under one condition. What's that one condition, you ask? Well, the UN must provide all of the information on as to where, how, when the money is going to be spent. And obviously that's not going to happen, so Elon Musk isn't going to give any of that money to the UN to waste and pour into bureaucracy and funding evil corporations and nations. Today in entertainment, we are going to talk about the Eternals again. Well, the Eternals, they really need to work on their internals, if you know what I mean. Yep. The movie was projected to be a mess way before any of the mess that's transpired now has actually taken place. And, well, it's even being proven to be a mess by every critic that exists. Even the ones that are paid to like it, even the ones that want to chill for it, are all saying that this thing is basically just a dumpster fire of garbage. Yep. So apparently, the message they're trying to send is stay away. Stay away from Marvel, stay away from the Eternals, stay away from anything in Phase 4. Maybe, my thought is, and this is just my own conjecture, maybe Kevin Feige is taking the position to let the whole thing burn right down. Because he's thinking that if all this woke nonsense just happens, and they get to see how bad it goes, he can get rid of all the woke people. Or at least one can hope, right? Now, in normal news, last night, as you're probably aware, was Halloween. There was supposed to be a major solar flare that lit up the sky and gave an eerie glow to Halloween for all the kids as they were out doing their trick-or-treating nonsense. It's also known as the Northern Lights, and as per usual, when something amazing is supposed to happen in the sky, all the way up there, it's cloudy. It was cloudy, so no one saw anything. However, on the positive, the great news is that kids actually got to wear their costumes because it wasn't so stinking cold. Another positive for climate change. Make it warmer. So we can all be happier on Halloween, getting all the candy and actually wear our costumes instead of those thick winter coats covering up our amazing costumes. Yep. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining me for Breaking Not Fake News. And, yeah, well, anyway, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope you like my plant. And, yeah, well,